is going to be all about Boxycharm. I have now been a Boxycharm subscriber for 6 months, so I thought I would go ahead and make this video to sort of update you guys on what products I really loved and stood out to me, and what products sort of just disappointed me for one reason or another. So if you want to see my faves and my not so faves from Boxycharm, as well as my overall thoughts on the subscription service, then let's go ahead and get started. So first and foremost, if you are unaware, Boxycharm is a monthly beauty box that costs 21 bucks a month, and you typically get 5 full-size items. I've never received a sample size of anything. I have received travel sizes, but they don't do samples ever. Not for the past 6 months anyways. So 21 bucks, 4 to 5-ish full-size items every single month, and it almost always has a value of over $100. So some of these items were disappointing to me, but I'm not upset that I received them in the box because I didn't pay full price for them. Does that make sense? So let's go ahead and get to the products that really stood out to me. Number one being this blush right here. This is the Studio Makeup Soft Blend Blush in the shade Sahara. This is what it looks like here. It looks sort of like a warm-toned mauve. Is there such thing? It's sort of like a peachier sort of mauve. This is the blush that I'm wearing on my cheeks right now. I absolutely love this blush. It's very blendable. It's perfectly pigmented, not too clown status, but also not too sheer. But you can build up the pigment. But if you go too ham, it is super easy to blend out just using your powder brush. I had to do that today because I went a little insane. This blush retails for 17 bucks, but I would never go out and spend 17 bucks on a blush that I've never tried before. So that's the thing I love about Boxycharm, is that you can try items for cheaper. You don't have to commit to the full price. And if you don't love it, it's okay because you didn't spend full price on it. This is the Ofra Long Lasting Liquid Lipstick in the shade Napa Valley. I had tried Ofra liquid lipsticks previous to receiving this in my Boxycharm, and I already knew that I did like the formula. So I was excited to get sort of like a fun color that I wouldn't necessarily spend full price on. Once again, it's like a super deep, shimmering, plummy purple color. It's beautiful. I think it looks really pretty in the wintertime. So these lippies retail for $19.90. With that being said, there are tons of influencers out there who have 30% off discount codes, so they can usually come out to cheaper. These are so unbelievably pigmented, and I love that they put Ofra in the box. I'm actually going to talk about another Ofra product because Ofra is a really popular makeup brand, at least here on YouTube it is, and this one thing that was in my box equaled the price that I paid for the box. Does that make sense? I could have spent 20 bucks on this lippy, or I can spend 21 bucks on Boxycharm and get this plus 4 other products. Let's talk about another lippy. This is from the brand Real Her. It is their moisturizing lipstick. I am not someone who loves lipstick. If you know me, you know that I don't love regular old lipstick, traditional bullet lipsticks like this one. I prefer liquid lipsticks or gloss. But I do appreciate, Kaiser, can you stop walking around? But I do appreciate that I received this one in my box because once again, I never would have spent full price on this, but I did get to try a really amazing formula of lipstick for cheap. How many times can I say that? So this retails for 18 bucks. Again, that's basically what I paid for the entire box. Makeup Geek eyeshadows. If you watch YouTube, I'm sure you've tried a Makeup Geek eyeshadow or two. And in one of my boxes, I received 2. I got the shade Desert Sands, and I also got a purple shade. This one here, Curfew. These are both incredible. They retail for 6 bucks, so you got 2 in the box. They're ridiculously pigmented and blendable. I already knew I loved Makeup Geek eyeshadows, so it was really nice to receive them in a box. And again, not paid full price. So this is a skincare product, which when I first saw that I got a skincare product in my box, I was sort of iffy, just because everybody's skin is so different. Not everybody's skin needs the same things. But when I saw the retail value, I was totally okay with whatever it was. I didn't even care. This is the Dr. Brandt Microdermabrasion Age Defying Exfoliator. This retails for $79, and I got it for $21 along with 4 other items. So even if I hated this, I didn't really mind. I don't really use this often. My skin doesn't like to be exfoliated, so I don't exfoliate super often, maybe once a week. My favorite thing about this is the scent, and the beads are very fine. So I just make sure to be very gentle. So this is definitely one of the standout products during my 6 months of Boxycharm for the retail price alone. So this is the Ofra Rodeo Dry Highlighter, which retails for $35. Again, the box is only $21. I saw that every Boxycharm subscriber was gonna get this in their box. This was actually last month, and I was so nervous to try this because I was terrified that it was gonna be too dark for my skin tone, my natural skin tone. And it really does work. If I use it wet on my nose, it looks too dark, but otherwise it really does work for my skin tone. As long as I use a fluffy brush and sort of a light hand, I can make it work. This is the highlight that I'm wearing on my cheekbones right now, mixed with actually another one that I'm gonna talk about. I also have this on my brow bone and on my inner corners. My nose, my cupid's bow, a little bit on my chin, a little bit on my forehead. The one negative thing that really stands out to me about this product is how much kick up there is in this product, which isn't a big deal in a highlighter. You know, maybe that's bothersome in eyeshadows, but you kind of have to be careful when you put your brush in because it like it explodes. But other than that, I think it's a beautiful golden summery highlight. I love it. This is the Doucee Maxlash Volumizer Mascara. This is like 22 bucks. Again, something I never would have spent full price on. I'm someone who thinks that the drugstore has amazing mascaras, so I rarely spend the money on high-end mascaras, but I am excited that this was in my Boxycharm because I love it. This is the mascara that I'm wearing on my lashes right now. Very voluminous. It's not very lengthening at all, but it is very volumizing, as the name would suggest. It can get a little clumpy if you go a little bit too ham, which I do. This is like 3 coats, so you can totally get a nice non-spider looking look with just a coat or 2. My friend Misty commented on that Boxycharm unboxing this month and she was like, girl, I cannot stand that mascara. So keep that in mind, she didn't like this. But for me, I really do like it. A little clumpy, but I don't mind that sometimes. Now let's talk about the products that I didn't so much love. They sort of just disappointed me for one reason or another. Doesn't mean I wish that they weren't in my box. It just means that I never would have paid full price for these. The first one being the Studio Makeup On The Go Cool Down eyeshadow palettes. This was in my first Boxycharm ever, and I saw swatches online and I immediately wanted this palette. I wanted it. I absolutely love my cool tones, my mauves and purples and grays. I love them, I love them, I love them. And so when I saw these swatches, I immediately subscribed to Boxycharm because this palette retails for $49.95. So I was like, I want a $50 palette for 20 bucks. I'm gonna get that. I was planning on just joining Boxycharm for this month and then I would see how it goes. And this palette is just sort of lacking in my opinion. It's not as pigmented or as blendable as I wish it was. It's not as pigmented or blendable as I would expect for a $50 palette. Does that make sense? It's not a bad product. I'm not upset that it's in my Boxycharm. I just don't think it's worth the full retail value. The one thing I do love about this palette is this shade right here. I use this to highlight my face all the time. You can tell how dirty it is around it. I use this eyeshadow more than any of the other shadows in this palette. That's the one that I mixed with the Rodeo Drive highlighter on my cheekbones today. This works really well for fair skin tones. If you like a really sort of frosty, sort of pinkish highlight, but you're very, very fair and everything looks like a blush on you, this one's awesome. Don't you dare pay $50 for this entire palette just to highlight your face with this eyeshadow, but that is what I use this palette for most. I almost dropped that. So this is the Brow Gal Clear Brow Gel. This retails for 20 bucks, which is plain and simple the only reason why I seriously don't like this. Like, this is a big bummer to me. Every time I use this, I've only used it like 3 or 4 times, but every time I run this through my brows, there's like little bits of like powder or clumpiness or something. It's hard to explain, but I'm someone who does my brows almost last. I never start out with my brows, so maybe after I get foundation and powder and junk in my eyebrows, I take a spoolie and brush them out, but even after I do that, this makes my eyebrows look weird. I don't know how to explain it. I don't like it. I don't think it's worth 20 bucks. I never use it. I always use my L'Oreal one, which is way cheaper, and this was the price of the box. This is so stupid. This is the Pure Cosmetics Buff Collection. It's an eyeshadow palette that is literally identical to the Naked 3 palette, which, plain and simple, is the reason why it sucks. This palette isn't bad. I think I only used it once during that video because I own the Naked 3 palette, and this palette is the exact same thing, only $4 cheaper. So in this case, I am kind of bummed that this was in my Boxycharm, because if they were going to include a $50 palette, you should have included a $50 palette that A, most people don't already have the identical dupe of, because I feel like if someone was after the Naked 3 palette, they would pay the 54 bucks for the actual Naked 3 palette, not $4 less for the knockoff that's like identical. I don't get it. I don't get it. I am bummed that this was in my Boxycharm. I don't think it's as good as the Naked 3. This product is only a little bit disappointing just because of how stinking fair I am. I am really pale. I know it can be hard to sort of see on camera someone's exact skin tone, but my skin is so pale that even the lightest shade of foundation in all the ranges that I've ever tried is too dark for me. I am paler than the palest. This is the Vintage Illuminating Face Highlighter Set. It comes with 2 shades, Rose Quartz and Chocolate Diamonds. Once again, this is another thing. This is not a bad product, it just didn't work for me. This chocolate shade is way too dark for me. I can never use this as a highlight. It's a pretty eyeshadow, and this pink quartz, Rose Quartz shade is beautiful also, but it is a little dark. If I use a super duper fluffy brush and I use it dry, I can sort of make it work. But there was one time that I was going for sort of like a pinky monochromatic look and I wanted to use this, and I used it and I was like, oh my gosh, so beautiful. Let me wet my face really quick so that I can make it more intense. And as soon as I applied this when my face was wet, it was way too dark. It looked like I took blush all the way up to my cheekbone. A beautiful formula, they're just too dark for me. And it retails for 35 bucks. So I also just want to mention these eyeshadows really quick. Again, not bad products, just not worth the money, and they don't stand out to me. These are the Vera eyeshadows. They're full size, and I believe both of these together are $14.50. They come in similar packaging to ColourPop. This is the shade 24 Karat. It's a beautiful eyeshadow. It's a beautiful color, but I never find myself reaching for these. I also got the shade Noir, just a plain black shade. These are more expensive than ColourPop eyeshadows, and I prefer ColourPop eyeshadows. Okay, I lost one. Oh no, I didn't. It's right here. Okay. Kaiser honey, please shut up. Wow, does that look better with no light? Oh, did I talk about this? My dog is barfing. That's why you need to eat. Hey, note to self. These are the naked 3 ones. Got it? Good. Ofra Rodeo. So that's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed getting a little catch up on all of my favorite and least favorite products from Boxycharm. If you didn't catch it already, I do definitely recommend Boxycharm, because even if you get products that you don't really love, you didn't pay full price for them. And I'm not part of any, but I have seen on like Facebook, there's like swap groups online, things like that. So if you get something in your Boxycharm that you don't love, and maybe somebody else got something that you wish you got, you guys can like get together and like swap. So that completes this video. I really hope that you guys enjoyed it. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. Make sure that you're subscribed so you don't miss any future videos of mine, and I will see you guys next time.